7 days before Minnesota deer gun season, and new details are emerging about CWD. A new study from the University of Minnesota claims cleanliness while butchering and processing deer meat is extremely important. Northern News Now's Cara Cobb takes a look at the research and gets reaction from a local processor.
It seems like the more we look for it, the more we are apt to find it.
That's Dr. Tiffany Wolf, a professor with the University of Minnesota, talking about their new chronic wasting disease research findings.
Knives and cutting boards and meat grinders can be contaminated with prions from venison that is positive for CWD.
Professor Wolf saying equipment touched by meat contaminated with CWD can pass it on to other venison, but using cleaners like diluted bleach in between each deer can stop the spread.
These can be used to clean that equipment, and that is effective in removing the prion contamination.
A concern for local processors just a week away from firearm deer hunting season.
We do about 400 to 500 orders in a season.
Renee Gaffney is a co-owner of TJ's Country Corner, a processor in Mattawa, meaning her business takes in meat that has already been butchered. She says her business already performs those sanitation practices, but some butchers may not.
We can control our practices, but other people's practices, there's different rules in different areas and different criteria.
Gaffney's confident walking into hunting season despite new CWD findings because their business model keeps their deer separate and they're heavy on the cleaning.
Even when we have meat in the smoker, it is your meat in the smoker, and that is designated just for you.
In Mattawa, Cara Cobb, Northern News Now.
Now, the University of Minnesota spoke to lawmakers about these findings. They didn't make any recommendations, though, when it comes to new rules and regulations for meat processors. Still no word yet on potential changes at the state level.